It's currently Saturday, May 16th at 11:54. I'm recording Locked In episode 2. Last time I recorded a video was about 3 weeks ago. This one is between April 25th to May 16th. What kind of happened between those times? It's been overall I want to say good 3 week in terms of business and just life in general. Yeah, just kind of give you like an overview of what happened in the last 3 weeks. The week after I recorded my first video, it was kind of the same thing, not really that much progress. So I missed my first day of outreach that week, the next week after I recorded the video. The first time because I was heavily distracted that day. Overall, it was a midweek, I want to say. A huge part of that is because I would no show a lot of my appointments. I'm not sure why I did that, but it was around 5 appointments. I no showed all of them. Um, and that was obviously pretty bad. I would set up appointments and I would just not show up to the appointments. And I also didn't have pre-call text going out, so people would even forget about the appointment. So then, yeah, which is obviously a huge no-no. The week after that kind of happened, I recorded a voice note like two voice notes on my whys. So the reason I did business, which helped out a lot. I focused heavily that week on the actions, and on Wednesday, I think I went over 2 with calls. I felt absolutely defeated that day. I was thinking of getting a job. I was kind of just done with business art, and honestly, I was like, "Yo, why am I even doing this anymore?" Then the next day, I went 3 for 3 on a pay per appointment offer. Each client was worth about $3,000 USD if I actually delivered for them. So it wasn't even a free trial. So potentially 3K a month already. Um, so I got them all to pay me $1 on the onboarding call on file. So I already hit my first goal, which is 3 paying clients. Um, and that was honestly my best week, I want to say, for the year in terms of business and in terms of inputs. It was just a really good week. Um, then the next week, which is last week, was pretty trash in terms of inputs. I wanna say because it was conference week, so I was in church a lot. So there wasn't really an opportunity to build momentum because I was going to church pretty much every day. So I would come home, then go to church, and come home and go to church. But I can't really fully blame it on that. I also hung out with friends a lot, which way more than I should have at least. So if I had just done church alone, I think I would have been good to at least do like either like a lower volume of outreach. But I did like only 50 SMS that whole week, which is obviously pretty trash. And also on Thursday, I believe, I got my bike stolen, which is my primary source of income. For some reason, I don't feel too crazy about it. I feel like I wanted it to happen. And in the back of my mind, I wanted it to happen, but because now I have to make this work. Like I have about 2 weeks of leeway before I either have to get a job or make this work. So it's a huge fire for me, or it's a huge ignition for me to actually put in work. Right now, I feel like I'm in a good spot with the clients I have, and especially with the opportunity to deliver for the ones I just signed as well. As long as I deliver for them, I keep my outreach volume either the same or even increase it. I should be good to hit my goal, and that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So going into next week, honestly, I want to just work. Like I have an eagerness to work right now. I want to work next week like a lot. Because I know if I work and put in the work, I know what's possible. Just because of that third week, the results I got from that third week. And yeah, so goal goal one was to get 3 paid clients and have them pay me at least $1 at some point. Goal three was to get 6 free trial clients. So me, I spent at least $1 on ads on their behalf, and then goal two was just KPIs that I thought I would hit. Honestly, some of these numbers are kind of skewed. I don't think I'm going to hit this goal, but my goal overall was to hit 2 of 3 of them. So I think I'm going to hit these two. And yeah, so structure on these is progress on last week's tasks, task for this week, and then a lesson for the week, and whatever other important stuff I have. Um, so progress on my last video was to fix my sales motion, so my setting script and my sales script. Fix show up rate, so the VSL and text reminder. Make one piece of recorded content and post it on Instagram. Get up to KPI, get A2P approved, and then work 40 hours. I was able to hit pretty much all these goals, other than the make one piece of recorded content. I honestly don't even know why I didn't do this. It was more. I want to say it's more of a time thing. Because I was working on like actually outreaching whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I wasn't able to hit the goal of recording videos, but I need to do this because I know it'll put me in a really really good spot in terms of when I start running ads. So people, and even when I outreach as well too, I can point people to my videos and say, okay, this is my business. I'm a real person. So I think this is going to be a huge leverage. It's not going to help me sign clients, but it's something I want to really work on. And yeah, task for this week is to hit KPI. So my goal for the week is 2 new clients. I don't want to make it a task. I want to make it like more of like a outcome. But my actual input, the work, the thing I want to work on next week is 300 outreach a day. So 1,500 for the week. I do want to hit. I do want to do a little bit more than this, but just as a little bit of as a little bit of like a minimum is 300 outreach a day. Right now, I'm in more of like I have like a crunch in terms of how much money I actually have to put into SMS. So I can't even go crazy on SMS as much as I would want to. But 300 is my minimum I'm gonna hit a day. Second goal is to record 2 pieces of content and post them before Friday. Uh, Probably gonna be on Instagram. It shouldn't be too even hard to do this. I want to just record anything and just post at this point. Like I've been procrastinating recording content for so long. Um, yeah. Third goal is to launch client ads and call all their leads. I'm pretty much gonna do this like right after I finish this video. I'm gonna just replicate the exact offer and whatever I had for the client that I ran on January. I'm gonna run that for 3 days, see how that performs. If it doesn't perform well, make up a new offer, go from there. Just kind of testing things out. And then the fourth thing I want to work on is putting up a job application and hosting interviews for appointment setters. So I'm gonna take the next week just to call my own clients' leads for them. So I'll call the leads myself, book the appointments myself. Then I want to train and hire someone to do that for me. So I'm not gonna have time, especially when I start running ads, to call the leads myself. So I want to have someone doing that full time. But I want to take the first week just to kind of do that myself to see how it is and whatever issues they have or they run across. I kind of already would have already hit that issue, so I know how to fix that issue. If that makes sense. Yeah. So 4 goals for the week is pretty much straightforward. Something crazy, but yeah, it's mostly just inputs. I don't really have like a crazy goal in terms of fixing script or whatever. My script is pretty much good and whatever, and that's pretty much it. Lesson for the week or lesson for the last 3 weeks, I guess. The popcorn effect is definitely real. Just stay consistent with the daily actions. I think out of everything that I've learned the last month of just doing business, the biggest thing is like just knowing what the inputs are to for the goal you want. So if you have a certain goal, just knowing what you have to do to hit that goal and just making sure that you hit that input. Um, a very, 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 very big thing that I noticed with me is I struggle a lot with staying consistent with something. So if something doesn't work out in the first like week or two, I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore. But what I kind of learned in the last month is just the popcorn effect is real, where it's like the popcorn effect is essentially when you put popcorn in a microwave and then obviously it goes off for a little bit of time and then nothing happens and then it just starts popping and everything just starts going quick. The last Before I signed a client, 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks of just putting in like crazy amount of volume in terms of outreach. Not I don't want to say crazy actually, like a good amount of volume in terms of outreach, and I saw absolutely no results. I was working a job, and I was also doing outreach at the same time. I was very very stressed. I saw absolutely no results, and then randomly in one day I just got 3 clients. So all the work I put in, all pretty much panned out in one day, and which is why I'm saying the popcorn effect is definitely real. I just have to stay consistent and believe that it's actually real and it's going to happen. The second thing that I learned is motivation is a very and highly fleeing feeling. So when you feel motivated, you're like it's usually around like times where you can't even work. But so I feel motivated like at the most random times, like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. I'm like, what I want to do is so much work, and I wake up the next day, I'm like, oh man, I don't really feel like doing anything anymore. I might even feel like doing something, and I'll just procrastinate the whole way. Big thing, I think I said this on my last video, but big thing is accountability. Like when you feel motivated, you should take that time and the motivation that you feel to set up some type of accountability for yourself, something that's gonna hurt you to not do. So for me, it's like I have a friend that I text each time I don't want to work, and I have a contingency where it's like if I don't do a certain output or a certain input, I have to do something that I don't want to do. So for me, it's like I have to send outreach, or I have a KPI I have to hit. I have to hit 300 outreach a day. If I don't hit that 300 outreach, I have to send someone money, and I don't want to obviously send the sense. Obviously, I don't want to obviously send them money. So I have to do outreach, which is very, very helpful. And it's like I don't even have to feel motivated to do it because I do it regardless. The third thing is doing the work regardless of emotion. You probably forget what it is you did instead of working. So why not just work? Even though you probably forget the work you did. And a fun fact, even how hard it was, it's still done. And whatever outcome derives from the work you put, it's still there. And you probably that's probably what you're gonna remember. So it's kind of didn't make sense as I said it, but essentially it's like when you have something to do, right, and you don't, and then you have two options. You can either do the thing you're supposed to do, or you do something else, which might be something that you want to actually do, like some type of fun you want to have. In the next 3 weeks, or even the next week, you might not remember what it is that you had, what it is that you did in the meantime. So if it's like you have to do outreach, or you scroll on your phone, you have two options to do, two options of things to do. You can either scroll on your phone, go on your phone and scroll whatever on YouTube or Instagram, or you can do the outreach. In a week's time, if you have to remember what you did in that time space, you probably won't remember. The only thing that you're gonna be able to see and be able to like actually perceive is the fact that you have the result that you have. So if you did the outreach, you might have one client. If you go on your phone, you're obviously gonna have no clients. So the only thing you're gonna remember in the next week or so is the fact that you actually did the work. So the last 3 weeks, I've been putting in work, putting in outreach, whatever hours. I don't remember I don't remember half the time that I even did the work. I don't remember any of those. What I remember now is that I have three clients. I don't remember if I did the work. I don't remember if I went on Instagram. I don't remember what I did or whatever the hell I could have done. But I know that I put in the work and now I have three clients. That kind of makes sense. You're not gonna remember how hard the work was to do. You're not gonna remember if it was easy, if you had a good time, if you felt like happy doing it. You're not gonna remember any of those. All you're gonna remember is that the work is done or not done. And that's pretty much it. Um, no, it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't a coincidence that my bike got stolen. I want to say it's probably to push me to hit my monetary goal for the month, which is $3,000 this month, because I have no other option but to hit it. And with my clients and my acquisition, as long as I do the daily actions, it's very unlikely that this doesn't occur. So when my bike got stolen, honestly, I felt like weird about it, which like I felt stressed, but I didn't really care as much. I feel like if I didn't sign the three clients I signed, I would have been way more stressed than I was. And also, even the day that happened, I went to church and the pastor was preaching and was talking about interruptions in life, and I was like, wait, this could be some type of interruption in my life. Um, and I was like, yeah, man, maybe it's just maybe something to just push me to actually deliver for the clients. Because I remember in January, my my I got my first client in January to do work for him, and the a big thing was like I was spending the money on his behalf, so I was spending my own money on his behalf to run ads for him. And I remember it was my money, so the first time I run the ads, it was $30 cost per lead, and I was like, wait, I can't be paying $30 cost per lead. Like I had a job, I was just leaving a job, so I kind of had money stored away, anyways, but I still felt weird spending $30 per lead. So then I kind of looked at the offers, I looked at what I could do, ran the ads again. I was getting about a $5 cost per lead, and I was getting about an $18 cost per lead. I did it again, and I got a $5 cost per lead. And the only reason I put in that much work is because I had to, because I didn't want to spend that much money on ads. So I know if I have to do something, I will do it, right? And then this bike being stolen thing is like it's kind of a nudge to kind of push me to make it work or make it happen, right? And then the last thing as well too that I kind of the last lesson I guess is fundamentally, if I can make my clients money, they'll be more than happy to pay me. So my only goal for service delivery is to make my clients money. And if I make them money, I make money. So it's like I kind of have to kind of tee up with in terms of service delivery and making sure that I actually put in the work for them. If that makes sense. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of lessons. The last thing I want to kind of go over is the KPI versus my actuality right now. We don't really have to focus on the numbers, but just the percentages. So my KPI going into all this was 2% reply rate, 70% booking rate, and 50% show rate, 30% close rate as well. My current stats are 4% reply rate, so double of this, which is obviously great. 17% booking rate, which is trash, and 21% show rate with a 42% close rate. Um, Two big things for me to fix are my show rate and my booking rate. My booking rate, the way I plan on going about doing this is double dialing my leads. So before, what I used to do is I used to call double dial my leads all the time, but then Go High Level used to charge me per call that I made. So then I stopped double dialing my leads, and I only would dial them once. But I'm gonna just go back into double dialing my leads. I feel like it's more of a higher percentage in terms of picking up, a higher pickup rate. Um, so double dialing the leads, and then doing outreach early in the day to have the opportunity to call them twice at least in a day. So what I usually do is I do outreach at like five o'clock to like 7 o'clock, which means I can only call the lead once when they actually reply. I can't call them like 3 hours after because obviously that'll be like 9, 10 o'clock. I can't do that. So if I did outreach earlier in the day, like around 12 to 3 o'clock, I can call the leads at like 5 to 6 or 5 to 7, right? And then it gives me more of a time to double dial them throughout the day. So if I do my outreach early in the day, I'm able to call the leads at least twice in that day, and higher percentage of them actually picking up on the second call versus me calling them the next day. And then also I want to be able to call them the next day as well too, even just to add that on as well. Making sure I'm able to call the leads the next day, making sure that I'm double dialing them the next day as well too. And I should be able to get this number, which is my goal for this week, to get it to at least 25%. So increase it slightly. Um, and fixing my show rate. So calling all leads to reconfirm the day of. It's not really a big issue. It's a huge improvement on in the last 2 weeks. Right now, it's about 50%. So this number is based on the last 3 weeks, but 50% right now, which is not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the episode. What I wanted to kind of end it off with is just like what my plans are looking like. For this week, honestly, I don't want to have a monetary goal, but if I could hit like $500 this week, which is let me just do the math on this real quick. It's like 500 CAD to USD is 363 divided by 50. So all I have to do is set up 8 appointments for my clients. So I'm running three ads right now. So if I set up 8 appointments for them, should be able to hit $500 this week. And honestly, I don't want to say $500 even. I'm not gonna lie, because my goal for the month is 33K. So 1,500 CAD to USD is 1090. 1090 divided by 50. It's 21 appointments. If I could set up 21 appointments, 22 appointments technically this week and next week, I would have been able to hit my goal for the month, which is obviously what I'm looking to get done. And yeah, if I could hit that goal, get 3K a month, I'm gonna put that 3K into ads right away. Get the money from the ads. Try to get up to at least 10, 15, or 10K at least, 15K the next month by closing some more clients, and then putting that money into more ads and putting that money into a program. So specifically Cameron England's program, I want to kind of get into that, learn more about the agency and whatnot. And that's pretty much it, honestly. I'm gonna just get off this video right now. I'm gonna launch the ads, use the exact offer I had last time going on. Uh, Hopefully that still works. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna just keep looking at different offers and seeing what I could do in terms of launching different offers and seeing what works. And that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna try recording another video next week and just to see where I'm at in terms of progress and whatnot. Yeah.